it happened again. Different person, same dynamic, different name, same feeling. And somewhere in the middle of it, you notice the same conversations, the same patterns, the same way things slowly start to unravel in exactly the way they did before. And you're left asking the question that never seems to have a good answer. Why do I keep attracting the same type of man? Here's what most dating advice gets completely wrong about that question. It's not about the men you're choosing. It's not even about your type. It's about something operating so far beneath your conscious awareness that most women never even think to look there. In the 1960s, a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz noticed something that changed his understanding of human behaviour entirely. He'd perform a successful operation, change a woman's nose, her chin, her breasts, and months later, she'd come back feeling just as ugly as before. The mirror had changed. The self-image hadn't. What he discovered is the single most important concept for understanding your relationship patterns. By the end of this video, you'll understand what that concept is, where it came from, how it's been quietly running your love life without your permission, and what it actually takes to change it. What Maltz discovered was this. Every person carries an internal image of themselves, not the one they present to the world, not the one they consciously describe, but a deeply held, largely unconscious sense of who they are, what they deserve, and what love is supposed to feel like. He called it the self-image. Today we will call it self-concept. And here's what's critical to understand. Your self-concept isn't the conscious story. It isn't, I deserve a loving partner. It's the deeper story running underneath that. The one that says love comes with anxiety, or I have to earn my place, or men eventually leave, or I'm the kind of woman who handles everything alone. It wasn't formed in a single moment. It was built slowly, through thousands of small repeated experiences in childhood about what you're worth, what to expect from people, and what love is supposed to look and feel like. By the time you were a teenager, this story was already largely written. Here's the part most women never realise. Your self-concept doesn't just shape how you feel about yourself. It shapes what feels like love. 3 independent bodies of research arrived at the same conclusion from 3 different directions. Psychologist Aaron Beck called them schemas, deep cognitive emotional patterns formed in early life that run adult relationship choices beneath conscious awareness. One of the most common is the emotional deprivation schema, the deep-seated expectation that your emotional needs will simply not be met. Women with this schema don't consciously choose unavailable men. They follow what chemistry feels like, and chemistry, in this context, feels like the familiar. Bessel van der Kolk, building on earlier work by Freud, documented what's called repetition compulsion. The nervous system doesn't seek what we want, it seeks what it knows. Because to the nervous system, familiar equals safe, even when what's familiar is painful. This is why he's different so often becomes, this feels exactly like before. The nervous system was never looking for different. It was looking for known. And then there's the reticular activating system, the brain's filtering mechanism. Your self-concept programs the RAS to surface information that confirms your existing story and filter out everything that contradicts it. A woman who believes at a deep level that she is too much will notice every piece of evidence that confirms it and unconsciously discount everything that doesn't. She's not unlucky. She's filtered. 3 frameworks. 1 conclusion. You are not consciously choosing the pattern. The pattern is choosing for you. Here's what this looks like in real life. The woman who keeps attracting emotionally unavailable men. She'll describe intense chemistry with men who are distant, and a strange flatness with men who are warm and consistent. She's not attracted to unavailability. She's following what chemistry feels like when the schema is active. Unavailability feels like desire. Consistency feels like boredom. Until the self-concept shifts, the pattern doesn't. The woman who always ends up doing everything in a relationship. She's not attracted to passive men. She's drawn to dynamics where she has to earn love through effort. Because that is what love looks like in her self-concept. And then there's the moment early in a new relationship when everything feels different. He seems different. The dynamic feels different. Fresh. That feeling is real. But it often isn't a sign that things are different. It's a sign that the confirmation hasn't started yet. Attachment takes time, and the self-concept is patient. It waits. 2 frameworks arrived at this same understanding long before modern psychology had the language for it. Neville Goddard, whose work on the law of assumption influenced thinkers from Carl Jung to modern philosophy, made one central claim. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you assume. Your dominant assumption about yourself and love is your self-concept. This isn't metaphysics separate from psychology. It is psychology. The assumption is the schema. The internal story is the attractor. In quantum physics, the observer effect describes something remarkable. The act of observation influences what is observed. Your self-concept is the observer in every relationship you enter. It collapses the field of possible experiences into the ones that match the existing story, filtering, interpreting, responding in ways that make the story come true. Ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience, describing the same loop. The internal story creates the external reality. You can change your dating app, change your type, move cities, and get the same result because you took yourself with you. Maltz's patient changed her face and still felt ugly because the self-image was unchanged. The pattern lives in the observer, not the observed. And the observer can change, but not through affirmations layered on top of an unchanged foundation, not through new rules or new strategies, through genuine excavation of the story that's been running, seeing it clearly, understanding where it came from, and consciously choosing something different at the level of identity. That is the real work. And it starts with one question. What story about love and your worth has been feeling so normal to you that you've never once questioned whether it's actually true? The most important relationship you'll ever work on is the one with your own self-concept, because every external relationship is a mirror of that internal one. That's the thread running through everything on this channel. Not what to do in relationships, but who to become. If this way of seeing it resonates, subscribe and come along. Every video goes one layer deeper